What's up, Broods and Brewdettes? It's the Pico Dudes coming to you from super sunny Seattle today. I'm Sam Rather, and with me, he's about to drink wit and will probably say shit. It's Jeremy Hidalgo. Yeah, you're going to have to bleep it.
Nah. Does that mean I'm with you?
You're with me, baby. It's a lovely, sunny, hot day, and we're about to have a cold, delicious drink.
I can hardly wait, even though it feels like we've been waiting all day for this drink.
We pretty much have. You know,
Yeah.
I stayed clean all day, and that's hard for me to do.
Good. Personal hygiene is important prior to drinking beer.
I meant I didn't have a beer today. I wanted this to be my first.
So what are we drinking today?
We are going to try the Harlem Renaissance Wit.
Renaissance. So brewed by Michelangelo?
Brewed, yes. Donatello, Leonardo, and Raphael. They
All the Ninja Turtles.
just got together and brewed Splinter. Harlem Brewing is an East Coast brewer.
Cool.
And that might not sound super exciting until you realize we're 11 episodes in, and I think this is one of our first East Coast breweries we've touched.
Dude, I'm excited. I'm excited for any beer, any brewery, anywhere.
Yeah, well, these guys, they are a little bit different. They pride themselves on it. They started in a studio apartment right across from Marcus Garvey Park way back in the 90s. And in November 2000, they actually founded Harlem Brewing.
Sweet.
And they've done lots of trial and error. They really like to focus on unusual flavors, infusions. They have a Pico Brew Zymatic, so they're trying all sorts of stuff out.
Oh, cool. Is this their only Pico pack, or do you know if they have more?
I believe they may have one other Pico pack. I know they have 4 beers that are available if you don't mind running to New York City real quick and grabbing one.
Oh, sure. I'll be right back.
We're going to try this and decide if we want to look up and see what else they might have in the store.
Sounds good.
First, we're starting with a wit. Wit's one of my favorite beers. Do you know what a wit is?
I know a little bit about wits. You know why? Because I looked it up on the internet.
Oh, internet, we love you.
So
for many reasons.
So first created in Hoegaarden. You may have heard of Hoegaarden.
Hoegaarden is one of my very, very, very favorite beers.
And it's a wit beer.
Yep.
So first created in Hoegaarden, which is a little village east of Brussels. It's a Belgian-style ale.
That means not German. And not American. It is its own unique take.
It means Belgian.
It means
actually.
Belgian.
Yeah. In point in fact, it does
People
mean Belgian.
confuse it all the time. Oh, it's a German. No, it's not German.
Yeah. Ask Jean-Claude Van Damme. I'm sure he'll give you a history lesson.
I thought he was from French Canada.
No, he's the muscles from Brussels. Canada,
you know, French Canada?
No, he's the muscles from Brussels. He's from Belgium. And
Belgium.
Yes, or from Belgium. So we're horrible. We have not even drank yet.
Hey, how about some geography, folks? Yeah, this is our first podcast we've ever started cold. So
maybe we have to start it over anyways.
Maybe we should be drinking. This is worse.
Yeah, so let's take a drink, and then I'll tell you about the Belgian
Yeah,
wit.
we got to get a little of this, but maybe smell it first. Smell it first. Smell it.
Smell it. It smells like a wit. And it smells like a wit beer, more importantly.
Okay.
Oh, it tastes. We'll get into how it tastes.
Okay.
I'm going to be drinking more of that, though.
Good.
A lot more, probably. So, Belgian-style ale. They're very pale, cloudy. And they're typically cloudy because they're unfiltered. Mm-hmm. And they've got a high level of wheat and or oats sometimes, and they're usually spiced, generally with coriander, orange peel. Sometimes other herbs are added, and you can taste those in the background. And due to that, it kind of gives the flavor is crisp, and it has sort of a slight tang, and that comes from the wheat and the lively carbonation levels that these beers typically have. It's often referred to as a white beer or wit beer. Due to the cloudiness, and that's from usually, again, being unfiltered or the yeast in suspension.
Did you know, I believe to qualify as a wit, it needs to have at least 25% wheat malt.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
And also, while you can use hops, of course, to make your wit, when they really created the wit style in that region, they didn't use hops to flavor. They used spices. And so it's a big region for spices. And so they would use spices. Often coriander was the main spice they'd ground up and would put into the beers instead of hops.
Sure.
So that's sort of where that style, and maybe that's part of why I like it, because you don't get those bittering hops.
Yeah.
These are almost always super low IBU beers.
Yeah, and the hops aren't front and center on the flavor or the aftertaste or even the aroma, actually.
So what you're drinking, SRM of 4, so pretty light colored beer, and I think that's probably right on
yeah,
on mark.
I think you're bang on.
Alcohol is 5.8, and the IBUs is 12.
Really?
12.
It is not a bitter beer.
It's not a bitter beer at all. And you've heard me describe the wits before, right?
I have. So just how are we going to get into the do you have more to go specifically with this brew and talking about it from Harlem, or did
I really don't. You know, this is, I want to try wit. There's a make your own. So I am tempted to go in. I think it's using the Saz hops for the most part in order to try and get the same characteristics, because we are limited with our Pico's brews. Our Pico brews are awesome. In fact, we had a great lunch yesterday with Joshua
Bennett.
Anybody who has ever had an issue with their Pico brew has probably come across Joshua and his team at one point or another. And one of the things we did talk about was how much we love the Pico brew, but it is limited in the grains and hops and yeasts that are available from Pico brew. And of course, there's reasons for that as this company gets off the ground and what they're able to stock and ship readily and easily. Because when we order Pico packs, how long does it take to get?
For you and I, usually a day.
A day. We got them next day. So these, you know, they have to keep all this stuff ready, and it's much easier to do the limited selection of stuff. So,
and that's because we're close, not because we're the Pico dudes.
No, yeah, we have no favoritism. It's just because we can drive over and they're that close.
Yeah.
But and so I'm gonna try and make another wit. I've already tried this one. We'll talk about it in a minute. Good, but again, it is not a pure wit. It is a wit style, and I'm really interested. I would love to try Harlem Brewing's actual Renaissance Wit. In the style they're doing it, because keep in mind they're trying to recreate it using the grains and hops and yeast that are available through Pico Brew.
Sure.
But why don't you start off? You've had a sip, take another, and tell me kind of what your initial impressions are.
Okay. And then once I do that, why don't you tell us how you brewed this one? If there's anything you did special, did you bottle condition it?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I hit buttons.
So right off the bat, as the nose on it is that coriander smell.
Almost that light banana that you get in a lot of these.
Yeah, I'm not getting as much banana on this one as I would expect.
You expected a bigger banana?
Bigger banana, yeah. You know, that's what she said. Totally what she expected. And this one is definitely not. And maybe I'm confusing this a little bit with, you know, a Hefeweizen, but
this is not to be compared to a Shock Top or Blue Moon. Those are all in a Weiss beer style. This is a wit. It is not the same as the Weiss beers.
So immediately in the front part of the flavor profile, I get a little bit of that. It's not as crisp as it could be. I think it could be a little bit undercarbonated, or maybe it's the way you poured it, because we'll post a video, and as he poured it, we got the perfect. It looked very good. Like carbonation looked right on. You had a good amount of head. There's good head retention. But it tastes a little undercarbonated.
It does. And it may not, because you've been rushing me a lot, because you brought no game today. So I would have normally let this sit another week before serving. It's only been about 10 or 12 days that it's been bottled. So it does bottle. I did bottle carbonate.
Yeah.
It's only been 10 or 12 days, which is shorter than I normally would like to go.
Yeah.
Although it had a fantastic head from the pour, there's, as you can see, no retention in the liquid.
Right.
And that flat does take quite a bit, or near flatness takes quite a bit out. And what I'm surprised by is I actually went and saw a review on the Pico Marketplace, Brew Marketplace, and someone else said they were having a lot of troubles trying to carbonate the beer.
Might be a good candidate for forced carbonation with this one. If you're having an issue with the natural carbonation and you were to put it in, say, a tap room, or put it in your Pico serving keg, and if you've got the regulator and the CO2 cartridges, you may try doing a forced carbonation on it. But it's a very good, very drinkable beer. I think I don't detect any off flavors in this one. So whatever issues you were having with your fermentation they're not present in this one.
Who said I was having issues with my fermentation?
Your mom.
Damn it, Mom.
So,
But so for me, my initial impression when it was still highly carbonated was, oh, good, yum. That has a lot of the flavors I'd expect. As that carbonation quickly dies out, what I'm left with is a beer that, and I've compared some wits before to Budweiser with a bit more flavor. They're very light, they're very easy drinking, and I'm left almost with a sour aftertaste instead of the sweeter aftertaste I would usually be used to.
yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely taste the coriander, and that's pretty up. I'd say it's up front, but it's more kind of as I'm describing this. There's kind of like three parts of the taste. There's the initial impact that it has to your taste buds in your mouth, and that is very even though we're saying it's undercarbonated, there is an initial effervescence that I can catch.
Yep.
Then you get hit with the coriander kind of flavor a little bit, maybe another herb that I can't describe right now, and then the wheat kicks in. So you definitely get that wheat profile. It's a little like kind of like a cereal. Well, you guys know what wheat tastes like. It's like a cereal type flavor.
People eat wheat all the time.
Like it's in everything, right?
Straight wheat.
Does it require?
Is that the second time we brought Om Nom Nom in?
Yeah, yours was that was an aggressive Om Nom. It was like,
oh yeah. Watch the video by Nice Peter. He does the best Om Nom Noms.
Oh yes, nom 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 babies.
Yes.
So this beer is I think spot on with the description that we've talked about. Feels like it's right in on the style. We've had wit beers, so we're qualified to talk about this one more than a saison.
Is a little of that feel, and I'm just kind of what I'm getting, is a little bit maybe not sour, but more the sour, of course, lemon after you swallow what's left on your tongue.
Yeah, there is a you didn't put lemon in this, right? But
no.
There is a bit of that citrus flavor.
That is a characteristic often of wheats, is that you get that lemon or sometimes orange peel.
And
afterglow.
I'm guessing that's a.
If you got a beer that gives you afterglow, I want that
finish?
beer. That's my 5-star beer when I find that.
Oh
yeah, if I need a cigarette after smoking it, because I don't smoke after. God, dang it! Somebody help me with words.
You need more beer.
I need words.
I think that's probably a characteristic of the type of wheat. Wheat. Fucking, I can't talk either.
Whoa, Spike. Watch the language.
Yeast. The type of yeast that you... I'm going to cut all that out.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, you won't. But you're right. And so one of the things that I'm interested to try is we're going to get through a number of these beers. We're not going to catch up with the brew marketplace. It was a dream, but they're adding them faster than we can get to. So we're going to go with listener recommendations, Pico Brews recommendations, often on the most brewed beers. And in fact, I think we have one or two coming that are in Pico Brews most brewed that we can talk about. But then I think that I would also be interested in trying with some yeast from homebrew stores. Yeah. I see a lot of people online are using different yeasts and getting different character. Pico Brew, again, using yeast that travel well, that keep well for long periods of time, that are hardier, but it's a very limited selection of yeast that they provide, usually almost one per beer style. And just changing that yeast can completely change the flavor of your beer. So I'm interested to try a couple with different yeasts, sort of like what we did with our, help me out, Denny Conn's vanilla bourbon porter stout. Imperial. There's a lot of words in there.
Such a wonderful beer, though. It deserves all those words.
I wish we had some of that right now.
We do.
All right.
It's right there.
So
did I just call you out on that?
You did call me out. So, this glass will see some before the end is.
The end is nigh.
You keep talking.
So you mentioned that we're having a hard time sort of keeping up. We're trying to keep these podcasts rolling out weekly.
Yep.
And there's only so much that we can brew, and we're trying.
I've got 5 right now that are fermenting.
So one thing that we had thought about is, if you guys are listening to the show and don't mind hearing us ramble about each one of these Pico packs and want to help us get the reviews done so other people can do more than just read some of the reviews online and hear a podcast where we taste it and talk about it a little bit and some of our trials and tribulations and a little bit more about how we brew the Pico pack specifically. we would love if you would put it in a bottle and ship it to us, or arrange a way to help us, get some of these so that we can taste them.
Not to be regionist, but if you are in the Seattle area, and a lot of Pico brewers are, it would be really easy. We will come your way, arrange a handoff. If you're really interested, we wouldn't even mind sitting you down and letting you introduce your beer and trying it with you on the podcast.
Absolutely. We do intend on trying to pull in the brewers of the Pico packs to not only the home Pico brewers, but also the actual breweries who have created some of these to introduce their Pico packs and talk about what, not only their brewery, but the recipes.
We have popcorn?
We will have popcorn for you after the episode is done.
Oh, you are so cold. I just saw that note.
That's what you get for reading a text that I sent you an hour and a half ago.
Hey, phones. I'm just checking because I believe that we are also looking to hook up with Barry and Ray over at Lucky Envelope.
Yeah.
And they have how many? 3?
They have 3 Pico packs.
Pico packs available, and working with them on something.
Yeah. Well, in addition, we've also got the brewer of Tally the Timid.
We do. And he's going to come on and actually share the beer with us and talk about what he did and his experiences.
Yeah, exactly. And you mentioned the Lucky Envelope thing. Do we want to talk about the let's review the beer. Let's tell you how many stars.
Let's talk about this beer first. Yes. So you go first because it's my beer.
It is a good brew. It is well brewed, but it's a 3.5 for me.
I was going to say it's a 3.5. I'm going to go 3.5, go 3.5 across the board on it. I will drink all the rest of it without any upset. I would like to let it sit a little longer.
Mm-hmm. Well, luckily you bottle it.
I bottle it so the rest of them can sit a little longer.
Yeah.
This is what I'm probably going to drink while I'm mowing the lawn. I did see somebody post on Facebook that said, hey, trying to get my wife into beer. She doesn't like IBUs. Can somebody suggest something?
This would be a great one.
This is the beer for somebody in your life that doesn't like beer and wants something light. And this is, my wife. She did not like wine. We have been together for way too long, 25 years.
Don't get that wrong.
I know. And she didn't like wine for a long time. And you have to find the gateway. And the gateway for her was Riesling. And because it doesn't taste like wine, it tastes like sugar water that's alcoholic.
So I love Riesling.
I can't drink it now unless it's super dry. I enjoyed it at first, but now and she's the same way. It's all she would drink is sweet Rieslings and off-dry Rieslings. This is maybe, especially a Hoegaarden or a Wit, any type of Wit, is a great entry beer. Almost the way Blue Moon has become a bit of an entry beer.
It's a gateway beer.
It's a gateway beer. Yeah. So if you have that significant other that is not understanding your brewing passion and they hate those really strong IBU, hoppy IPAs and they haven't built a taste for them.
Vanilla bourbon.
Or I think vanilla bourbon is the only way to go.
Yeah, my wife.
Your wife?
My wife. She likes the Hefeweizen.
Yeah, she does, actually. She does.
Yeah, she likes the Hefeweizen and the whip beers. This is exactly in her flavor profile. I think this is something that she would enjoy. So, yeah, I'm at 3.5 stars. I think it's a good wit beer.
It's a fine wit beer. I don't think it's brewed the way Harlem would prefer, but they're working with the resources available to them, and wit is a kind of a specialized style.
Well, and I think one of the things that we're going to need to do here in the next couple of weeks is, as we describe...
Lowered expectations.
As we describe the amount of stars that we're giving to the beers, I may post a little thing... we'll call it a post or perhaps a picture, but basically it's there will be no little things in the picture. I'm cutting this out. So the idea is that we rate on the scale of 5 stars, but
that makes sense.
2 stars may be like, this is not a beer that I'm going to brew again.
We need to describe the star ratings.
3 to 4 stars is like, I would definitely brew this some more, but it's not my faves.
Really?
Wait, 1 to 2, yeah, 3 to 4, and then 5 is like Denny Con, Imperial Bourbon, Porter, Stout,
And all the
vanilla.
other beers you rate as a 5.
Yeah, but those are, keep in mind, I usually rate beers as 5s that fit in my flavor profile of what I prefer.
I think that'd be good for us to post our expectations because everyone has a different. For me, a 2.5 to 3.5, I would drink it if presented.
Yeah.
Without complaint. I'm not going to go out of my way to brew it again.
Yeah.
You need to be at least a 4 before I'm going to go back and brew it again.
So where are you at on this one?
Oh, 3.5.
You're at 3.5 also.
I don't think I would go back and brew this unless I was going to do something different. If I was going to go and either get some spices to try and brew it with, try a different type of yeast, then I would do it again. But to just brew it up the way we have it, I would probably just go pick up some Hoegaarden and drink that.
I'm getting a little bit of green apple aftertaste on this. How about
I can get that. I can get on board that train. Again, it's fine. It's absolutely fine, and I will be drinking the rest of it with no reservations. But there are so many amazing Pico packs out there that unless I was doing it for someone else that didn't like beer, what I may do the brew year round the freestyle wit and play with that a little bit.
Yeah, I think you should.
But even then, you are dealing with trying to recreate a style using a different format of brewing. And we'll see what turns out.
You know, this might actually benefit from, I think something we were reading said that you can add lemon slices or orange or something like that to this.
I even think adding some peel during the, yes, I'm drinking more.
Yeah.
Adding some peel during the fermentation process actually might bring out, or some oils, if you happen to have a Pico still and want to brew up and actually extract some oils from some lemon or orange rind or similar. That I think would really go a long ways towards building out the flavor profile of this beer.
Should we share a story about the Pico still and some shipping woes of one of our friends? So we have a mutual friend who was one of the Kickstarter backers from the Pico still. And he ran into some...
Drink it fresh. Drink it fresh before it...
Okay.
Now. Do it now. Sorry. It's probably too late.
That's way more carbonated.
When it's fresh and carbonated, it tastes so much better. It's a whole half star at least better when it's fresh and carbonated. And as that carbonation dies out, and again, I think because it didn't sit long enough, I'm interested. I might bring one back when I get back from Hawaii, and we'll see what it tastes like then, because it'll have had a few weeks to really settle in.
Yeah, so keep in mind, the first time we drank this, we started this podcast having not tried it or drank anything, and you had poured them, and so...
And they sat for a while.
They sat for a bit.
Yes.
What I get now, as you just poured it fresh out of the bottle, is I get a lot more of that wheat flavor right up front, because there's more carbonation that's releasing that flavor in my mouth.
It's better fresh, and once, like I said, if I let this sit, we'll come back to it. Kind of like we're going to do in our next episode, right?
Exactly. We're going to go back and revisit the Stingray. Nope, not the Stingray. This
Drew Beecham Citra Saison.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, anyways, back to my Pico Still story.
Tell the Pico Still story, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of my beer.
Yeah, so this is going to involve some profanity. So at one...
What? Yeah, Spike, settle down.
No, it's not Spike. This isn't even Spike getting excited. This is just... So the Pico Still, if you have ordered one and you get a shipment notification, just note you have to be present to sign for this, because you are ordering a distilling apparatus and the federal government needs to track it.
You found a way to use apparatus in a sentence. I'm proud.
I did it. So
apparatus. It's like a Harry Potter spell. I'm enjoying my wit. Keep telling stories.
So what would this Harry Potter spell produce?
Expelliarmus. Oh, yeah. You that's what
prehensile penis.
Now we have to cut that.
Apparatus. Now your penis has an arm-like quality.
No, it doesn't.
Can grab your beer and let you drink it for you. That would be an awkward thing to walk in on.
I don't want it that close to my face.
Oh, nothing.
Levioso.
Oh, gosh. Anyways, so the Pico Still is something that needs to be signed for, and we have a friend who had some challenges with UPS in that
Oh gosh, yes.
they didn't understand exactly. Initially they told him he could sign, on the app, and that wasn't true. Then they told him he could go to one of the stores and pick it up, and that wasn't true. And finally, they attempted to bring it back the next day, of which he left work early to go home and be there to sign based on the time frame that UPS gave him.
But noon to 4 really means 8 to noon.
Yeah, but they were already there and gone prior to the time slot that he gave him. So his response was to write "fuck you" on a Post-it on the thing,
leave it on his door.
And when they came back the next day, that wasn't an acceptable form of signature for them.
So he's never seen his Pico still.
He's still never seen his Pico
It
still.
just disappeared.
So it is going to be shipped to his place of work.
Yes.
And we'll update you once we get a chance to see the Pico still in person, and hopefully start
see his. We've seen the Pico still and what it can do. And
but see,
awesome.
we get to hopefully talk him into letting us start distilling stuff and
we're gonna
experimenting
distill the
with
crap out of some stuff. I got some pennies, pocket lint. We're gonna get some oils out of this stuff.
Oh, pocket lint oil is not something I'm adding to any beer.
Interesting story.
Ooh, another one.
Well, you heard it also yesterday when we were with Joshua having some lunch, and he talked about actually taking some hop oils and adding them to an actual banquet beer. So he mentioned he was actually out at Mike Brennan, who you can listen to our interview with Mike, said, hey, add some of this to your beer. And he went and took the dropper, and he goes, should I just add a drop? And he's like, no, put a whole squeeze in. And he added the entire squeeze, and he said, there's no way you would have known that was a Budweiser or whatever it was. It tasted like a great micro brew.
Transformed it into an IPA.
Instantly. And
this is something that we have to get and start carrying around with us.
I need this emergency kit in my hands immediately.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we're gonna wrap this up. You've gotten a whole half a star better with it fresh, so you're at 4 stars. I'm gonna remain at.
I'm at still 3.5.
I'm gonna remain.
I should have been at 3. Now I'm at 3.5, and I'm gonna stick at 3.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna remain at 3.5. I think it's a solid beer. I think I wouldn't.
Are you brewing this beer? I didn't think so. You guys can't see his face.
Probably not.
Oh, probably.
Probably not.
Okay.
There's so many other ones I want to try.
I know. There's so many good ones to go back to.
Yeah.
What's your one beer that you would go back to at this point?
Right now,
outside of Denny Con.
Right now, I want to brew another Elysian
Dragon's Tooth Stout just to see how it stands up.
Yeah, I also kind of want to brew another Autumnator Doppelbock.
Well, Autumnator Doppelbock.
That one was really good. I've already brewed 2 of those, one of which I fresh hopped.
I brewed a gorgeous ale.
I messed that one up.
It was so good, and it was a perfect fall beer. But I'll tell you, my fallback would be the Rogue Dead Guy Ale.
Oh yeah, that one's amazing. I would brew that one in a heartbeat.
Okay, so we have a Maybach coming up, and since May is coming, and I'll be gone almost all of it, that I think should be one of our first ones we do when I get back. So we'll do a Maybach.
You've got a Maybach to do, right?
Yes, I do.
Which one is it? Do you want to spoil it?
No, I'll spoil it. It was just on special. It's the Mount Baker Maybach.
Yeah. You know what else I saw? So in the Facebook forum, I saw somebody was asking what fruit to add to the Dead Guy Maybach.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of an interesting question. Maybe we should try taking some of the recommendations that we see off of the forum and incorporating that. You can do your Mount Baker Maybach. I can order another Dead Guy, not Red Guy. I can order another one of those, and we can see what the most popular fruiting is.
I'm not sure I'm up for that.
Why not?
No, I do think that'd be fun to compare those two against each other. I really think for me, I'm not sure what other fruits people are thinking of adding, but orange to me is something that I really do like, that citrus.
Don't fruit the Mount Baker. Let's see what that tastes like.
Oh, you want to go straight up? Well, we need to. We've told people we're going to go straight up and tell them what it turns out to.
But so we can fruit the Dead Guy.
Fruit your Dead Guy?
Yeah, let's fruit the Dead Guy.
Fruit the Dead Guy out of that guy.
Yeah, fruity. So we'll look. We'll do that.
We will. Before we go, you want to go to the phones?
We have phones?
Got some callers coming in?
Yeah, I think you guys should fruit the dead guy out with some chocolate.
No,
Hey,
chocolate.
Jack, that's not fruit.
Chocolates. All right.
We're going to cut that out.
That's perfect.
That's a great idea.
This is some delicious beer. Delicious. It was very, very good and drinkable. I'm looking forward to our next episode, which we're going to record immediately after. So stick around, play the next one. You'll understand we're a bit into our 6% beer here.
That one might be more fun.
in fact, it's
you
now
didn't even
gone.
talk about that. Yeah, you did.
What do you want me to talk about?
Nothing. You said it.
I talked all about some ABVs. I was all
did.
up in there with 3
That
letters.
happened. Yep. Okay. Pico Dude's out.
Pico Dudes. Are we doing that?
What? Yeah. Let's just end it.
All right. Pico Dudes. Out.
Ow. 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 You've reached the end of another episode of the Pico Dudes podcast. Connect with us at picodudes.com, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And if you enjoyed our show, we'd love for you to subscribe, rate, and give us a review wherever you listen to your podcasts, but mostly iTunes. Also, if you want a code that will help give you some discounts off of the Pico Brew equipment, Z150D equals $150 off of the Z series. Pro 125D gives you $125 off of the Pico Pro, and C75D gets you $75 off of your purchase of a Pico C. We hope you enjoy listening. Look forward to hearing from you. Pico Dudes out.